You're probably sitting there, scrolling through endless options, wondering if you're about to drop a few $100s on a dehumidifier that will sit in the corner gathering dust, or if you'll finally get something that actually keeps your basement dry, stops that musty smell, and protects your flooring and stored items. I get it, spending money on the wrong appliance is a real frustration, especially when you've already dealt with leaks, mold patches, or a perpetual humidity reading that never seems to dip below 65%. The biggest question is whether this unit will truly match the size of your space, run quietly enough not to be a background nuisance, and stay low on your electricity bill. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's talk about why a whole house dehumidifier feels different from the portable, tabletop models you might have tried before. Those little units can be okay for a single room, but when you have a full-scale basement or a crawl space that spans over 1,000 square feet, they simply can't keep up. The AprilAire E080 is marketed as an 80-pint capacity machine, which translates to moving about 3.8 gallons of moisture out of the air each day under optimal conditions. That's a step up from the 30 or 50-pint units that often get stuck in a cycle, never quite reaching the target humidity. For a home of up to 4,400 square feet, the claim is that it can handle the entire square footage, not just the basement. If your house has a sizable crawl space underneath, that's where the real value shows up, because the system can be installed to pull moisture from the whole envelope, not just a single room. The first thing I looked at was the installation reality. AprilAire includes a low-profile condensate pump, a drain hose, and a hanging kit that's meant for a DIY install. In practice, that means you don't have to run a separate floor drain or rely on a bucket that needs emptying every few hours. The pump quietly moves the collected water up and out through a hose you can route to a floor drain, sump pit, or even a nearby utility sink. For me, the biggest hidden trade-off is the need to find a location where the pump can discharge without creating a new water problem. If your basement already has a proper floor drain, you're set. If not, you'll have to plan a short run to the nearest point where the water can safely go, which can add a little extra work, but it's a one-time effort, and once it's done you truly get the set it and forget it experience the marketing promises. The digital control panel on the front of the unit is straightforward. You set your desired humidity level, typically around 50% for most basements, and the machine does the rest. There's an auto restart feature that remembers your last setting after a power outage, which is handy during storms when you might lose electricity for a short period. The display also shows the current humidity, temperature, and the operational mode, so you always know what the machine is doing without having to guess. In real-world use, you'll notice that after the first 2,448 hours the humidity drops noticeably, especially if the space had been hovering around 7,080% before you turned it on. That immediate change is what convinces many homeowners that they made a worthwhile investment. Now, who actually benefits from this size of dehumidifier? If you're a homeowner with a finished basement that you use as a home theater, gym, or guest suite, you'll appreciate the consistent climate control. Moisture can warp hardwood floors, cause carpet to develop a musty odor, and even affect electronic equipment over time. The AprilAire's ability to pull a large volume of moisture helps preserve those finishes and extends the lifespan of your belongings. Similarly, if you store seasonal items, holiday decorations, wooden furniture, or even a wine collection in a lower level, keeping the environment dry prevents mold and mildew from ruining those investments. On the other hand, if your space is a small, unconditioned attic or a single-room laundry area, this machine is probably overkill. You'd be paying for capacity you'll never use, and the unit will cycle on and off more frequently, which can actually reduce efficiency. Also, renters who can't make permanent modifications like installing a condensate pump discharge line might find the installation requirements a barrier. In those cases, a smaller portable dehumidifier with a bucket might be the more practical choice. Let's dig into the practical strengths. The biggest win is the bucketless operation thanks to the built-in pump. No one wants to be reminded every few hours to empty a heavy water bucket, especially when the unit is placed in a low-traffic corner of the basement. The pump is designed to be quiet. Most users report it runs at a whisper compared to older models that sounded like a refrigerator on turbo. Because the unit uses R32 refrigerant, it meets newer environmental standards while still delivering effective dehumidification. The washable MERV 8 filter is another thoughtful touch. It captures dust and pollen, improving